What are query operators in MongoDB? For example, in mathematics, we have plus, minus, equal to as the operators, right? Same case here. Here is the example. This is a condition where we are checking age is less than or equal to 30. And here age is the field, 30 is the value, and this LTE less than equal to is the query operator. Okay. The proper definition is query operator are special keywords or symbols used to perform operations like comparison, logical operations in queries. Okay, that's the answer. Compare query operators in SQL and MongoDB. If you already familiar with SQL operators, then it is very simple to understand MongoDB operators also. Okay, that's why I am showing the comparison. Then it will be very easy for you. So here is the first list of SQL operators and their counterpart MongoDB operators. All these are the comparison operator category. Okay. See, now if you know this symbol in SQL, equal, not equal, greater than or equal, less than, and finally less than or equal to. If you know this, then the operator with the same functionality in MongoDB are here. Only the symbol is different this time, but the purpose is exactly same. So this is one category of operators. We call them comparison operators because these operators are used for comparison purpose. Okay. And if you have any confusion still about any of these operators, then I have also written a very simple description here. Just read it. I think there is nothing much to explain here. It's very simple. All right. Then the next category of operators are the logical operator, which is combining basically multiple conditions to decide something. For example, these and, or, not are what? Logical operators only. And here are the symbols for SQL and in MongoDB. Okay. So then we have next category as the array operators, which helps you in doing operation with arrays, right? Okay. So this in, not in, length, all these are array operators in SQL, and here are the corresponding symbols in MongoDB. I know right now I am not going into detail of any operator, showing you just the name because there are so many. But don't worry, in one upcoming question I will cover the top 10 most confusing query operators in MongoDB. Okay, and I will show you the code also then. But for now we are just going through it. Okay. Finally, then here are the element operators, regular expression operators, text operators, and geospatial operators. This last one, geolocation, it helps in. Okay, the very high level idea. Okay, as I said, there are more operators, but you do not have to remember all of them. If you are new to them, then comparison and logical operators are the most important one for you. Okay, the rest of the operators basically depends on your application. In some cases you will use it, but in most of cases might you will not use it. That depends, right? Okay, great. That was the comparison of query operators in SQL and MongoDB, and I think now you have a very good understanding of query operators, right? How to implement comparison operators? As I said, comparison operators are the most important and very frequently used. So here I will show you the code quickly. Here is the list of 6 comparison operators. Now suppose in the code we have this collection of users, and our first requirement is to select or get the list of users whose age is is equal to 30. Okay, so for that we will call the find method of this collection of users to select the users, and then pass the argument inside the function where we are setting this filter criteria. Okay, the filter or selection criteria is where age equals to 30 by using this EQ operator. So this is very similar to SQL. Remember, select star from users where age equal to 30, just the syntax is changed, meaning is same. Similarly, to get the users whose age is not equal to 30, we will use this any not equal to operator. Then to get the user age is greater than 30, use this GT, greater than operator. Then greater than or equal to 30, we will use GTE, greater than equal to operator like this. And less than 30, we will use LT operator, less than. And at last, for users whose age is less than or equal to 30, we will use the LTE operator like this. Great. I hope now you fully understand these most important comparison operators, and yes, they are very frequently used in MongoDB from your Node.js project. Okay, so that is the answer of this question. What are in, nin, exist, and, or, text, regex, and not query operators in MongoDB? Yes, these are also very common, but maybe there are some differences, like they are something more difficult as comparison to our comparison operator. Not very much difficult, but yes. So let's quickly understand them. So suppose you have an empty collection of users from a database. Now we are creating some new users first and then inserting all these users in the database using the insert many method. Okay, I hope you are clear about this thing. Now the first operator is in operator, which can be used like this. Here we are getting the users using the find method where age is in any of these 25, 30 or 35. So as you know, above all three users are 25, the same 25, 30, 35. So in the output, we will get all the matching three users. Okay. So this in is a array operator. Remember that it will check that the elements are there in the array or not. Okay. It will get only the elements which are which have these age. The second query operator is not in, which is exactly opposite of in. This time the same values, but the operator is not in. And as you know, we do not have, if you see above, any users we do not have apart from 25, 30, 35. So not in, therefore we will get none as the output. Okay. Now remember, both of these are array operator, as I said, because we are passing arrays with these operators. Okay. The next is the exists operator. Very important operator. It's an element operator. Meaning it will only get records where age property is present or exist in a user document. So property we are talking about, not the value. Okay. So for example, if some user does not have age property, then that user will not be selected for this query. Okay. But you can see above all the user have age properties, right? Therefore they all are present in the output. Then we have this AND operator, which is a logical operator, same as SQL. Here this we will get the list of users who have an age equal to 30 and name equal to Jane, meaning both of these conditions must be true for the user. Only those users will be selected. And there is only one user you can see in the output who has both these things true, right? Okay. Then OR operator, age equal to 30 or name equal to 2, meaning if only one of these condition is true for any user, then that user will be selected. And therefore we have two. First, Jane has age 30 and the second has a name Doe. Great. Then we have the regex operator that select those users whose name have this J expression. Therefore, the documents of John and Jane are selected, but not those of Doe, because Doe doesn't have J. Okay. And finally, we have the not operator, and it is cleared by its name only. Here, those users will be selected whose age is not equal to 30. In the output, 25 and 35 are selected, but not 30. Okay, great. I hope you got the idea of all the above operators now. If you already know them, then it's a very good revision. And if you have any doubt, then you can try this code. Your doubts will be clear then. Okay, that's the answer. What is projection in MongoDB? How to implement it? First, I will show you a simple SQL statement like this, and you know here which column to include and which column not to include in the result is called projection. Meaning projecting on a specific field only is projection. Okay, simplest definition is also written here. Projection is a way of specifying which fields should be returned in the query results. Now we can implement projection by using the project method in the MongoDB. Let's quickly see the code. First, we are connecting to the database, getting the collection from user collection from the database. And there must be some data inside this users collections. Okay, this is a prerequisite. Now, if you want to include all the fields, then there is no need to use the project method here. Okay, and this find method will by default return all the fields of the document, every document. Okay, and this will be the output. Here we are using this for await for iterating and logging the result. Okay, which we are getting from the database, but you can use any other way also. Right now our focus is just on projection only. Okay, now in the second scenario, suppose we want only the name field. Now listen carefully. Then we will put the value 1 for field name, for the field name, and in the output we will receive ID and name only. Age will not be there, and ID will always be there by default. Okay, now the second scenario is if you do not want, suppose ID by default, then like this put value 0 in front of the ID to exclude it. That way you can exclude it. As a result, ID will not be there in the result. Great, that is the answer, and these are the 3 different scenarios of using projection. You can also try this code if you have any confusion, but when I am teaching, then there is no chance of confusion actually. How to remove the ID field from the result in MongoDB? You already know the answer, but I am writing this question here so that while revising the list of the question, you do not miss, you should not miss any small things. Okay, so then it will come to your mind. Okay, so that's why just writing it here, and here is the projection code. And we can set the ID to 0. Remember, by default ID will be present in your result, right, while projecting. But if you will put this ID to 0 in the project method, then it will be excluded from the result, the ID field. Okay, simple. The same thing is written here also. That's it. How do you perform sorting in ascending and descending order in MongoDB? Very simple. See, here is the code, and we are connecting here the database first and getting the users collections as usual. Okay, now to sort the result in ascending order, we will use the sort method after the find method like this. Okay, sort method. Inside the sort method, as the argument, we will put the field name as per which sorting will happen, and the value will be 1. 1 is for ascending order sorting. Okay, finally after getting the result, we will iterate it and see that in the output like this. See, the data by name field is in ascending order. Okay, so for descending order, very simple, we will just put the value -1 with the field name. Okay, that's it. And don't forget to call this main function like this at the end, because then only the above function will be called, right? And here is the answer also written. Sorting in queries can be performed by using the sort method. Okay,